Over a year ago, I uploaded the story of my first real rescue, which involved the sibling pair Cookies and Cream. Both of them were stray kittens that, through some effort, became socialized and taken in to be adopted at a shelter. I think about them a lot, and I really considered this experience eye-opening for me and what I want to do with the channel and my life. We're getting bigger every day, and the bigger we get, the more we can do for these guys, and I'm grateful for that. I want to share some stories of our other rescues that haven't had a chance to shine in the spotlight. Each have very critical stories to the channel, and hopefully we'll have even more to come. As for what happened to Cookies and Cream after they were taken in, there'll be an update video on that soon, including what happened to their older sister Milkshake and the new brothers and sisters that they didn't even know they would have. This video will cover their mother, Peony, but you'll have to wait for that one. For today's story, we'll be talking about a little tabby kitten that we never expected to run into. Well, I guess that's the way every rescue begins, but anyways, the kitten's story begins in a colony I like to call the grocery lot. It features a handful of kitties, but isn't as commonly visited as other colonies. It's hard to keep the superior and intellectual mind of a Twitch viewer entertained, so this colony isn't streamed as much anymore due to its small population. I still keep up with these guys, and the colony caretaker does amazing work feeding and keeping an eye on them. It all started when I was eager to show off a few of these colonies to my partner in crime, Cobalt Castaway. And when we visited the colony together, we had noticed a very tiny kitten following another older cat. This kitten I recognized had a chance at being homed. Within no time, I got my trap and set out in hopes to catch this kitten. But it wouldn't be that easy. It had taken 3 days of trapping over a week-long period. If you remember, it was much easier to get Cookies and Cream. I turned my back while climbing the wall. This colony has a large wall, it's hard to explain.
Funkier, cotton cream.
I returned to the trap to see not a kitten, but a man. The cat I had trapped would be none other than the legend himself, Gregory Beef Moonshine. That's his actual name. Gregory Beef Moonshine is a cat that Twitch chat couldn't decide between the names Gregory, Beef, and Moonshine, and when a poll was given, all name options tied equally. In fact, Gregory Beef Moonshine would have a daughter Twitch would name Pepper, and Pepper would actually be known as the mom that this kitten would accompany, meaning our target had king's blood flowing through his veins. We let Gregory go, as he wasn't our intended target. With a little more effort, I trapped this kitten by myself, and Cobalt had thought of the name Faye, named after magician Faye Presto, because the kitten would often appear in one place and vanish to another. I was excited, and when I got them into the car and started driving back, I heard wheezing. It was at a red light that I turned to get a flashlight on him to see the kitten didn't seem healthy at all. Their eyes were nearly completely crusted shut and were blowing bubbles out of mucus. Every single breath they took seemed strained and painful, and I grew concerned. This rescue happened a while ago. Actually, close to a year ago. Sorry for the long upload, but my goal was to focus on cats over content. Now that I'm in a better spot to juggle both, I've got catching up to do with these stories, starting with this one. Because this happened a while ago, I was definitely younger in my rescue experience, and the cats and kittens I had worked with hadn't been sick. This was a first for me. Looking back on it, there were clear and present signs of an extreme upper respiratory infection, or URI for short. The good news is with that, it's often treatable, and since we didn't know what we were dealing with, we didn't want to take chances, so we treated the little guy with a variety of safe, at-home treatments, such as antibiotics on the regular. Them being social made their medications a lot easier, and within no time, they was showing signs of looking better. Usually, bringing a kitten off the street requires socialization, like you saw in the last video, all 11 of you. For a cat to grow up with their mother and be outdoors to have their whole lifestyle change is stressful, and kittens can't comprehend the sudden change, especially the older they get. This usually results in them being skittish, scared, or even acting defensively, which all is justified. Socialization is a process that conditions them to an indoor setting and lets them get used to people and even at times love people. All my rescues beforehand were kind of feral, so this was a really cool change of pace. We felt comfortable with Faye roaming around the room we stayed in, making sure they were comfy and all, and although they needed to get used to their new setting, they were doing great. Faye was showing signs of looking better. Faye would still occasionally sneeze or have moments of wheezing, but it was nothing compared to what they had before. In the first couple days, I had gendered Faye as a female. I was happy to welcome her indoors and spend time with her. Faye really began to open up more in their stay, and we got to see their real personality as they started to feel healthier and happier. Oh, and we got to learn that Faye wasn't an only child. There had been another kitten of Pepper's that had been picked up before we arrived. They were already adopted by somebody who works in that grocery store nearby. It's good to know that the little one already had family that made it out. Hopefully we could do the same for them. We had a lot of fun with While Faye was here, we had a lot of fun with them. It wasn't long before the time would come where Faye was healthy enough and social enough to be taken to a home. We would take them to a shelter we worked at back then. They were taken in and inspected, where they found out she still had a mild case of URI that they were able to make a full recovery from. Oh, and remember when I said Faye was a girl? Well, when they went to fix her, things got confusing, considering Faye was actually a boy the whole time. In my defense, I didn't really confirm anything and haven't had any misgenders since. Faye was still an angel in the shelter. He was a total sweetheart, and it was cool to be on the inside able to visit her. But Faye's story doesn't just stop there. He caught the heart of a fellow coworker at the shelter who adopted him out, where we still get updates and photos of Faye living his best life to this day. He has some cats and dogs that he now considers family, along with 2 loving owners who have given him the world. This is the goal. Finding out the content I make can help their lives and help me learn how to approach these situations and help you guys learn is addicting. It's the whole purpose of what I do. So I hope we enjoy our comfy times, our funny times, and who knows what series will come next. But for here, in the rescue stories, know that you helped save a life halfway across the world. Give yourself a pat on the back too. You helped save this guy as much as I did with the support you give. What you may not consider a lot really means the world, and we're just getting started. So, as always, thanks for watching this cat go from this to this.